Yeah, alright, so, I'm hearing about, um, yeah, I'm this cringy dude in, high school. I'm the guy who, like, some people fuck with, like the other PMO addicts who, like, listen to rap and do shit like I do, like, listen to rap music and smoke dope, weed, like, but other than that, nobody fucked with me. At most every day, every day at lunch, sit at lunch by myself, pretty much. Like, so that was pretty much my first year of high school, right? So that year, I just smoke weed and do pot and all that stuff, like the regular, and maybe I don't know, I was probably I don't know. I wasn't even listening to CJ Topoff that much. I just liked his freaking songs where it was like the White Rabbit song, and maybe I listened to other his songs. But now it's like I'm really like becoming like this like CJ Topoff worshiper. Like 75% of the music that I listen to is straight CJ Topoff. Only 20, like, I don't know, that's pretty much how it is. That'd be cool to see how much, I don't know, like, actually compare it or something. But, like, yeah, so I'm in high school now, my first year of high school. Yeah, I'm just, like, doing drugs. And mostly all the beginning of high school was just me being like at the house chilling and me always smoking with my sister's boyfriend. Like that's the only thing that I ever looked forward to. The only things that would ever make me happy was if I was either smoking weed and I'd get happy from that, or if I was stroking my dick and orgasming and I'd get happy from that. Not really though. I mean, just like this lustful happiness kind of, it was just lust really. So I don't know, that just got me twisted, fuck. And then so yeah, and then my next year of high school, what is happens in my next year of high school, that year, in the first year of high school I become vegan, right? But then near the next year of high school, now I'm like kind of becoming more um like really spiritual and stuff. Like I'd start meditating now and stuff, and I learn about chakras, and then eventually, yeah, I'd hear about nofap. Like nofap was something I'd hear about. Yeah, and I'd wear I'd have crystals now and stuff. Like I'm just like this woo woo hippie now, kind of sort of like I got traits of it or whatever. So yeah, and what I hear is all I hear about is these things called chakras, and because I heard of these people called the underachievers, and they're awesome too, man. They do shrooms, acid, and all that kind of stuff too. Um, they got they I listen to their music. They're awesome, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. They're pretty cool. So the reason why I'm bringing up them is because they even talked about chakras. Like they're like, yeah, fucking shithole in my third eye's fucking intense, motherfucker. They're like saying some wild shit like that, and they're like talking about how open their crown chakra is, and like when their crown chakra is, they can see through everyone's bullshit, and it's just like, yeah, Stargate, but nigga, like, yeah, I don't know, like, it's just like some wild ass fucking music. And then, so, I learn, yeah, like, I start balancing my chakras. I'm thinking just me meditating was me balancing my chakras. And the basic shit that I heard on how to balance your chakras, like, go plant based, meditate, go vegan, but screw all of that bullshit. If you want your chakras balanced to a mug tea, all you gotta do is do semen retention, and that's on God. Like, nah, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, that's all you have to do is just do semen retention, and then you're fucking straight. Screw all the meditation and all that. I mean, yeah, meditation meditation helps with semen retention. That's what I think right now, but I honestly think later on, like, I find out that you don't even really need to meditate. But yeah, so, yeah, the dudes, underachievers, they're rapping about chakras and, like, he's, like, rapping about all this, like, sweet-ass shit, and then, you know, then... So, yeah, they're talking about how sweet it is once you open up your crown chakra. My chakras are all over the place right now. I mean, I don't think they're ever perfectly balanced, but I mean, I bet you can, you're always a hair close away from perfection. But you're always going to be a hair away. You're never going to be perfect. You're going to be a hair away. So, yeah. So I hear about the fucking... the NoFap stuff, and then I hear about them talking about the chakras, and then I'm looking up how to balance chakras, and I already knew about NoFap, so I knew NoFap was a thing, but then I heard of this thing called semen retention through this video called How to Balance Your Chakras, and the dude, he explained the number one most, pretty much this is what he was saying, like, the most important thing that you have to do to balance your chakras, is all you have to do is freaking just do semen retention. Just don't do semen retention. Don't waste your seed. Do NoFap and semen retention. And then, so, yeah, I'm like, alright, well, I guess I gotta do this. And I even jerked off a couple times after that. But, I mean, man, and it was like, I started NoFap, and I remembered, what's it called? Ralph Smart saying, like, oh yeah, you're gonna go crazy doing this stuff. But, I mean, now I started doing it. And, I mean, it really benefits me. Like, honestly, I think I really am, like, going in a pretty good direction while doing semen retention and while I'm balancing my chakras and stuff. So, yeah, that's awesome. So, then I started doing semen retention, right? Well, first of all, in the beginning of this high school year where... yeah, like, I was doing semen retention, like, the first year of high school, but I was fucking around a lot. Like, I wasn't doing it really seriously. But then, this next year of high school was like, alright, now I'm gonna start doing semen retention. I'm gonna do it for real. Or, like, I don't know, maybe I was, like, 2 months into, freaking school, and then I'm like, just I'm 2 months into school, and I'm not in the best place. Like, I'm just jerking off, I think. I'm doing shrooms, I'm smoking weed. I'm, like, just always stuck in my freaking mind, thinking, like, that I'm just, like, some kid who's just, like, always happy, and he's just on edge waiting to get home from school to start jerking my dick to, like, the hose on, or, I mean, I'm, like, just always thinking about waiting to get home to beat my dick to some porn, like, just while I stare at, like, some Instagram ass and, like, twerking videos, watch Ruby Rose, and then I had some other girls. But then it was like 2 months in, and it was like, alright, yeah, I've been doing No Nut November. I did No Nut November. That was alright, but I kept having wet dreams. And then 2 months in, I think to myself, like, alright, so school is becoming kind of like, if I don't start really, like, doing it now, like, something else is gonna happen. Like, I gotta start doing something different. And I knew something that I'd need to take to, like, do something. So, I decided to do something different 2 months into school. So, like, I'm doing all these drugs. I'm doing PMO, nutting 5 times, sometimes a day. but I'd always get in a nut almost every day. Sometimes I'd just take a break off or something if I was too tired to jerk off, and then once I got that energy to want to jerk off again, I'm ready. Um, ooh, like, and then, yeah, like, just busting gallons, And then, so, now I remember a lot of years ago, this man, I was on Omegle one time. And I remember him telling me, he asked me if I ever smoked weed, or if I do smoke weed. Yes, I told him, yes, I do smoke weed. And then he was like, alright, well, if you're gonna smoke weed, the only time you should ever smoke weed is in the summertime. So I took up on what he said. I mean, it's not like I can get sativa strains. Mostly everything that goes around is either, I don't know, it feels like, since the only thing I really want is sativa, it feels like the only thing that floats around is freaking hybrids and indicas, so it's not like I can really get exactly what I want. I mean, yeah, I'd probably smoke weed during school, or like the school period, like if I'm, what's it called? If I'm got some sativa, because I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like a smart idea, like just take a long ass fast of drugs and then just do, like, giving 3 months to doing a whole bunch of drugs. Like, that's kind of a cool idea. But so, yeah. So 2 months into school, I dropped everything. I quit everything cold turkey. I don't do any drugs. And then I quit doing, like, I start doing NoFap seriously. I'm practicing semen retention. I even, yeah, like, even at one point, I think it was at this, like, one point, I was actually celibate, like, because I was reading the Bible, and I knew, I just really followed it to a T. And then, like, I remember I was, like, doing semen retention. I was doing NoFap. I'd have wet dreams, but I just thought it was, like, the succubus. And, like, I was just having wet dreams and stuff. And, like, but I didn't know how to avoid the wet dreams. Now I'm pretty much know how to avoid wet dreams. Sometimes, like, I still am anxious. Like, shit, I thought I was gonna have a wet dream last night. Thank God I didn't have one. Like, like, fuck, like that. Oh, I'm so thankful for that. Like, I woke up, I'm making this badass video today. So much energy and all this stuff. Like, you guys can tell. Like, alright, so now, once I did the Bible stuff, dog, if I would have rode out that wave and just kept freaking doing what I was doing on that Bible shit, I would probably already have, like, this, like, let me chill. Alright, but yeah, like, so I did the freaking Bible shit, right? And then, so I'm like, alright, I'm not even, I always like, cause this dude online, he was telling me how Israelite he was and how religiously biblical he was. He was saying if you've smoked weed, you can get into heaven once you die, but if you've done psychedelics like shrooms, acid, DMT, PCP, mescaline, peyote, ketamine, freaking ayahuasca, if you've done stuff like that, you're going straight to hell. There's nothing you can do. So I was just pretty much like, well, fuck it. I guess I might as well just go back to doing drugs. Like, even though I did start doing drugs, and I knew I was gonna go to hell because of it, I was saying, alright, fuck it. Well, maybe, yeah, because I was still staying away from drugs because I was hoping God would forgive me. But then, damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Like, I was like, yeah, I was freaking, yeah, he was saying that if you do drugs, you're gonna go to hell. And then he told me, no matter, like, first he said, yeah, if you've done psychedelics, you're gonna go to hell. But what he actually told me was, yeah, later on down the road, I guess he changed his mind about that or something. I don't know if he really did, because it sounded like he did, because he was saying, oh, God will forgive you for whatever you have done, and if you straighten your life up right now And if you don't relapse on all this wicked stuff that you're doing, you can be replenished. But if you get a message like this again, and then you relapse on this wicked stuff you're doing, and if you think you're just gonna keep getting chances, you're going to hell. So, like, you're going to hell or whatever. So, but, hell is just a sauna, in my opinion. I heard someone say that. But then, yeah, so then I was just like, alright, well, I mean, so what is it, dude? Pick the side. Is it, am I gonna be forgived, or like, am I gonna be forgived, or am I not gonna be forgived, or are your biblical cracks gonna like be actually, I don't know. I heard that people like the myths about the missing rib in people and stuff, like that has holes in it, because I think I heard that was a myth. But then I heard someone saying, or like saying, that that's actually is true, that women have a missing rib or whatever. But then I was just like, alright, screw it, I'm just gonna go back to smoking weed. And then so then I started smoking weed, and then I actually started edging to porn. I was edging, looking at porn and freaking on Instagram, and I was looking at those this girl, this girl's Instagram, her name is the baddest Kiki or whatever. She's like this like little light skinned girl. She's like really thick, and like I was just like lusting over her Instagram, and like I was like so hard looking at her Instagram. Like, just think, I haven't, like, I was on my biblical fast of all this wicked stuff I was doing. And then so yeah, I'm like, I haven't busted a nut in a long time, like 3 months. I was doing this Bible stuff, and I was reading the Bible sometimes. I was acting like I was an Israelite, or I was an Israelite from what I was doing, but I don't want to say I'm an Israelite, because I don't even know what the fuck that really is, to be honest. I guess whatever that dude was who told me I'm gonna go to hell for doing psychedelics. But yeah, so I'm lusting over her pictures, and I'm just thinking, like, yeah, and then, like, I'm looking at her pictures, and then, like, I just start doing PMO again, and then I see this one picture. I'm not even touching myself, like, I'm just looking at her pictures. I see this one picture where she's like bent over the sink, and like her back is like kinked and turned into like like a J shape, or like, you know how like when girls arch their back so they look really like hot, and like just like the way her butt was curving out. Like, I started to get really fucking horny, and like I wasn't even touching my dick, and I just started nutting, like all this nut just started pouring out of my dick, like, and like I was just like staring at her, and I was just like, holy fuck. And like this just like rush of feeling, like I just felt like I was going straight to hell. And like then I really didn't want to do that, but I still was kind of doing the same thing. And then like a week after that, or no, I just started doing PMO altogether again. But I knew I shouldn't do it, or I didn't really care. Well, then I was just like kind of on Instagram, like, or edging. I was doing this thing called edging, like, and it's pretty much when you have sex, or you jerk off, and you do it to the point where you're about to come. And basically my thing was I'd always prolong my masturbation sessions for as long as I could go. I mean, and the thing was, I could usually pre-cum twice, but then if I wanted to pre-cum a third time, whenever I would go to pre-cum, alright, okay, I'm on my third time of almost coming, so I'm like jerking off, and then I'm about to pre-cum, right? But on the third time, always on the third time, instead of pre-coming, it all just shot out of me. I couldn't hold it in. So, yeah, I'm like masturbating, or edging to this woman on Instagram. She's like, this was like 9 months ago. This happened within the past 9 months. Like somewhere 9 months ago. But then yeah, so I'm edging, and then I'm thinking like, all right, so I'm on my like third time of edging. I'm thinking, all right, I'm just gonna pre-cum again, and then like I'm like fucking just jerking off, and then I see this like woman's nipples, like this Spanish woman's nipples like poking through her shirt, and like I just like started like skeeting, like I was just standing in the kitchen like edging to this woman on Instagram. And then I just start skeeting, and then it all comes out of me like, and it feels like a firecracker just went off in my dick, like, cause like I'm just like edging, and I know I'm about to burst, so I pull my hand away, and I'm like looking at the phone, and I see her nipples, and I like turn off the screen, and I'm like doing my best to like think of something else, like I just start nutting like a firework. It just starts spewing out of me. I'm like, it just feels so fucking like it hurts so much, but it feels so good too. Like it felt kind of good, but then so it was like then after that I kind of yeah, I just started jerking off again. But then I found out about Gabe Dog. You know, this is around the time where I'm learning about Ralph Smart and Gabe Dog, and I know I need to start doing NoFap. So now I'm just like sober, right? And I'm just like nobody. I don't really have any friends right now. Like nobody is really fucking with me at all. Like the last time I hung out with someone in the past 9 months. I don't know. I can't really. Yeah, I haven't hung out with anybody really in the past 9 months. And then the coronavirus shit happened, so I mean, I can't bag on myself too much, but it's school time, you know. Yeah, I haven't really hung out with anybody. Like nobody really fucks with me. All my friends kind of have their little girlfriends. Maybe they already found out about, or maybe they don't even have girlfriends. Maybe they're somewhere like I am right now, but I don't know. Haven't really, I don't know. But yeah, so now I've decided to go sober for the rest of the school year until it's summer, because the dude told me that it's a good idea to be sober while it's summer, you know. So right, I'm sober, you know, I'm doing my vegan stuff, and then I hear about this thing, and I'm actually glad I stopped doing drugs, because if maybe, who knows, like I don't know, it's supposed to be like this, because um I guess a big pencil in the sky just made it out to be this way or something. Because when I was sober, something cool I found out is that smoking cigarettes, DMT, weed, vape, anything, like it kills you faster if you're vegan. But if you're a plant-based eater, I guess it's not as less good. Like you're kind of, I don't know. The people, he was saying that the people with the lowest hydroxyproline are the people who smoke of any sort, and the people who are vegan. So if you're a meat eater, I guess, and you smoke, it's not as less good if you were a vegan and you smoked. So I'm thinking, if you're combining freaking not eating meat, yeah, if you're combining not eating meat, um, and you're smoking, you're gonna be dying a whole lot quicker than someone who just smokes and eats meat. So I guess the person with the most hydroxyproline is someone with like a a meat eating diet, like an omnivore diet. Like that's kind of like the most healthiest diet, according to like if you want to prolong your life to live longer. But I don't know. I'm just like kind of chilling right now. But you know, yeah, I was just kind of like thinking like I'm gonna drop smoking, and then so, but I mean, I did want to smoke DMT though, cause the CJ Topoff dude, he was always talking about smoking weed, or DMT, and I know that you could do the what's it called, the liquid version of DMT, right? And I wanted to do the liquid version because I did have some powdered DMT or crystal DMT, so I figured I could. Well, I already have the DMT, so I'll just smoke it, right? And then, because I honestly don't have any other way to take it, I know you can snort it or something, but honestly, I'm really confused. Like, nobody knows shit about DMT except for when you smoke it, right? That's pretty much. There is some stuff about people snorting it and putting it up their butt or something, but I don't know anything about that because there's not a lot of research about it. So, yeah, I decide. So, I'm just pretty much like sober and all this stuff for the next um 9 months of just being in school, and I can tell girls are just like they can tell that I'm like doing something different now, and it was like so weird having all the girls in school like notice me, um like they could tell I was like doing semen retention. I could tell they could tell what I was doing, right? And I was doing semen retention, and like even the hot girls were kind of like noticing me and stuff. Like this one, like it seemed like a Dominican Republican girl, and she was probably Spanish too. She was like really cute, and she was kind of cute. I mean, I'd freaking wife her, but yeah, like she was kind of thick too a little bit, and she would talk to me sometimes and like but ask me questions. Like she would acknowledge me, that I was a human. If I was in my PMO stage, she like if she needed a question or something and I happened to be the only one around, she'd ask me. Like she would treat me like a human during my PMO days. Or here's an example. At the beginning of the year, she was like acting like, oh yeah, that nigga's invisible. I all I did was bust nuts all the time, kind of, or I was still jerking off periodically. Not on like, okay, I'm ready to jerk off because I haven't in a while, but like I ended my like little religious Bible stuff, and I was like it was even at this year in school, and I was like doing my best not to look at her ass because I knew if that's what's it called, that's sinning if I'm looking at her lustfully. So like I'm like not looking at her. I don't know, she kind of looked at me like I was whack. I felt like she thought I was just whack or something, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, and she acted like I was invisible. Once I really started taking semen retention seriously, like you didn't. I don't know. I feel really fucking crazy right now, just being on semen retention and doing like veganism. Like my eyes kind of feel like really stale. Like meat would just like strengthen them up or something. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm like yelling. I need to kind of calm down a little bit, but yeah, at the beginning of the year, she just acted like I was in this visible nigga. But then, I don't know, I could honestly kind of feel like she was a little, she kind of had her eye on me. And I'd always feel her looking at me and stuff. And I feel like she would laugh at me sometimes. Um, yeah, she'd laugh at me like, like, almost like, not like she thought I was funny, but she like almost to make me feel less good or something, like and like then yeah, like I always felt like she was looking at me, and she's like, I don't know, I feel like I don't know if it's the drugs that make me out this way, or like people just get bored and they're like fucking with the kid who's just like all like does all this like weird stuff, I guess, like, and then they like kind of this is their way of fucking with me. Like say like you're like the people that are like looking like act like this is the Spanish girl, act like you looking at me, like imagine your vision is the camera lens is her vision. This is what I feel like happens, like when, like, so imagine like I'm looking, this is me like sitting up right now, and then this is the Spanish girl. This is how I feel like they would treat me when I started doing semen retention. This is how I feel people would treat me. Like, and do stuff like this to me. I don't know if this is because I'm on semen retention or because I did drugs or it's because both of that, and they're just wanting to fuck with me. I think it's that, because I really can feel these people like looking at me and stuff. But it's only happened recently. Now that I'm on semen retention, like they just want to fuck with me. They can't like keep their eye off me. Yeah, like people always stare at me now. Like I'm a threat to people. Like I can take someone's bitch. Like so. But I'm not gonna do that. Like so. This is pretty much what I see people doing, right? All right, so imagine that you're just like the Spanish girl, alright? You're just, look, imagine this is the front of the class, right? So, and now look, and this is me. I'm just minding my own business, looking at the front of the board, looking at my desk, Like, now, alright, so, action, here we go. And then, alright, I'm thinking, like, wait, did someone just fucking look at me? And then I'm just like, I feel like, this is me thinking in my head, like, oh, I feel like the Spanish girl just looked at me. And then, so I feel it again, kinda. And then I go to look over. Like, oh, no. And they just turn their head real quick. I start turning my head. And I feel like they just turn their head real quick. But like they can feel, like they're just fucking thinking, like, alright, he's about to turn his head. We gotta turn our head. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Like, bitch, you fucking were looking. Like, don't hide it. Like, that's all I feel people would do. Like, I'd go over to look, and then I feel like, oh yeah, the slow shroom boy. Like, cause I don't know, the shrooms were making me hella slow. Like, kinda. That's how everyone would make me feel, like they just like putting me down, like I don't know. It kind of is true. Like once you start doing so much psychedelics, you start to like get HPPD, and you're not really there all the time and stuff. But I feel like semen retention will just clear all that shit up. Kind of you get your strength back, your fastness, all that shit. I mean, it's not a cure all, but it's a ninja bullet. But yeah, like it'll get your shit blended for you. Yeah, yeah, like just people couldn't keep their fucking eyes off me, and they fucking got that shit down to a T, making it sure they were very secretive about looking at me. They couldn't keep their fucking eyes off me. I'd always feel people looking at me, and even when I would look over to look at them, sometimes it would just be like this. Like, I feel like I could see their head jerk away, but they would always do it so fast. Sometimes I could feel like I kind of could see it, but sometimes they do it so quick, it was questionable if I could even see them move their head. Like, it's questionable if they actually were, but I could feel it. Like, I don't know, I feel like crazy saying I can feel people looking at me, but, like, it's true. I don't know, everything kind of goes quiet for a second, and you can just, like, feel this sterilized, clean energy, and like you kind of hear static in your ears, like the whole sound in the room changes kind of. You can feel like energy like being pointed at you, but then when you look away, it's like you feel the energy go like, and then you look over, and then it's like the energy's gone, and you kind of see their head move a little bit. And sometimes I would catch people. Now I just sound crazy saying I catch people looking at me. I did catch them a couple times, because I mean, people have a fucking face and they can like look wherever they want to and stuff. But it's nah, like I caught them fucking turning their head, like, and then they like, you can tell they kind of got all like jumpy. But then like they do their best to like, act like they weren't jumpy, because like we're all learning, like thinking we're learning all this shit, like, oh yeah, like thinking like, well, if you catch someone and you're about to judge them doing something, you have a right to just like kind of throw it off because you're judging them or something. And then like they just keep moving their head and act like they're not gonna tweak, thinking like, oh yeah, so what if I was staring at you? Like I was just staring at you, and yeah, and fucking, I don't know, it was weird. I felt like this one dude wanted to fucking stab the shit out of me while I was sitting in class. That's kind of how we all felt. Just like, that's fucking like torture, just having us all sit in a room and do nothing sometimes for hours at school. Like, where I'm just like sitting in class and like fucking around, like these like sometimes sitting next to this one black girl, and like fucking class, and I was thinking I wanted to have sex with her sometimes, but then sometimes I would just think about like the most like sinister shit. Like I would think about just like wanting to like punch her in the face or something, or just like I would just think that she's like a nigger or something. I would just like, I don't know, we all have like intrusive thoughts. Like I even could tell she just sometimes would think about chopping my head off or blowing my brains out or something. Like just us all sitting down in that fucking classroom and doing nothing. That's how it makes you feel. Like, that's what it makes you feel like you want to do to people. Like fucking, especially if you're in there and you're not even like wanting to learn this shit, and you get in trouble if you pull out your phone. Yeah, like, yeah, you just gotta sit there, but like, you just go in there, sit all fucking day. Yeah, man, it sucks. So then, okay, so yeah, now this whole time I'm sober, I'm like like really all first my goal was to like go 7 days without having a wet dream, right? I didn't want to have a wet dream for 7 days. I thought that was the highest you could go. Once you went 7 days without a wet dream, every man in the world, if he goes 7 days without a wet dream, skeet will pour out of his dick like a fountain on the seventh night. I was clueless. I mean, I was researching how long can a man go without having a wet dream and without nutting, and I don't know, later on down the line I found out that you can go about like 6 months. Like if you're like haven't done, like if you're not like a jerk off like kind of person, like you can actually go like 7 months, 6 months without having a wet dream. Like that sounds freaking insane to me. I mean, I'm just like a PM addict. What do I know about this wet dream stuff? But I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself that now, but I don't know. It's whatever. We all got opinions. So yeah, like then so I got 7 days, and then well, and I was fucking celebrating. I was like so happy, and nobody wanted me to freaking get through that seventh day. Like everyone can just tell that I quit jerking off and I'm being sober now, and I'm just like on like the edge. Like I'm hanging on by a hair, just like craving weed, wanting to do PMO and stuff. But no, I was actually kind of happy though. I was like glad I was doing like doing semen retention now. I'm doing NoFap. Well, I was doing NoFap, and yeah. So my first idea was to just go 7 days without having a wet dream. I accomplished that, and then my next goal was to go 30 days, and I got the 7 days probably within a month of doing semen retention seriously. Like I wasn't fucking around. Like I did not want to do. So yeah, I'll just tell y'all some of the biggest things that like fucked me over that I could tell you can learn from. Like a month into it, I get my first 7 days, like, and I'm learning, like what causes wet dreams, and it's taken me 9 months, and I'm still finding out things that give you wet dreams. But the last time I orgasmed while I was awake was during this time when I was doing semen retention seriously. I accidentally came while I was awake, right? So here's something funny too. I was going to sleep one night, and for some reason I decided to roll over on my back because I just wanted to roll over on my back. And I could tell, like, all the people are rooting